Hi guys, and welcome to Norwegian Modeling Bench. This is Kenneth, and today we have the 10th installment in my build series of the BB-63. So today I will be working on the Curtiss SC-1 Seahawk, which is the float plane on the stern of the ship. When opening up the kit parts and looking what I had to start with, I have to say I were really disappointed. Just take a look at the dimensions here. So just the tail is 1.83 millimeters. So that should be like 64 centimeters in real life, which of course it wasn't. So I looked at the arsenal, this Seahawk they have, but as you can see, the resin molding is pretty bad. The parts were skewed, and it was a lack of details on the plane itself. So that was a no-go as well. So I'm trying my best with what I got in the box and the Pontos parts. So you have a lot of parts to remove. The tail and the rudder on the float thing, not sure. Replacing that with photo etch. There are also a lot of the way that the sprue and the connections to the parts has been done is also pretty bad. It's quite tedious to remove some of these bulky details like the canopy. But okay, we're trying to work through it at least. And then gluing up the parts. So I'm just using regular Tamiya liquid cement to do that and give it a time to cure before working on it. There are a couple of mold lines and so on that you need to take care of as well. And when working with clear parts, that's not very visible to see. So I had to do a lot of work after priming the first time to get a better view of what I really had in store. And some of these the floaters that go beneath the wings, they're pretty tedious to get properly aligned and correctly angled. I think I got it pretty right, and then I'm replacing the rudder with the Pontos photo etch. So that was at least one good thing with having the Pontos detail offset for this one. Otherwise, the plane would just look too big and lumpy. At least at the rudder, that was just a huge disappointment, I have to say. I'm not sure why they did it like that. So just using some thin CA glue to glue the parts together before I'm moving ahead and attaching those to the plane with regular CA glue. And of course these parts need to be properly aligned, so you get a squared angle between the parts. And then you have this engine photo etch going of course in the front of the plane, and this really gives some extra nice details of the inside of the engine. So I did some extra work on painting up that one. I'm not sure if it's very visible, but at least it gave me a good feeling. So then it's time to add the rudder, the tail to the plane itself. This requires a bit of work to align it properly, because you have all the different angles that you need to make sure that is properly aligned. So that also, of course, also takes maybe a couple of tries to get it right. So then it's time to prime. So I'm using Mr. Surfacer 1500 on this one. So I'm sure I won't lose the detail, at least that I have to work with. And it is also a primer that is very easy to sand. And there was quite a few operations that I needed to do to sand and remove parts before starting with the paint job here. So I'm using Hataka paints for this one. They had a good set that I used before moving ahead with the decals. And the decals are also not good. The print on it is skewed, so you have a bit of white sticking out on the lower side of this Insignia, and well, it is what it is. And then I'm using the set and fix from VMS, which is a really good one for decals. So then I'm also using some water to neutralize the setting fluids, so it won't affect the paint too much. So that's also something you should be aware of with some of these setters and fixers. And then it's time to add the canopy. I also tried to paint a bit of interior colors, so it wouldn't be just blue inside. So a bit of interior green and brown for the seats. So it looks like there is something going on, at least in the inside. I also pre-painted the PE parts for the canopy before doing this. And again, it requires a bit of alignment before you get this properly. But it is doable, and I think the result is okay, at least. And then I'm adding the propeller, so I tried to paint that up, adding those yellow ends, and also used gunmetal on the end there. One thing I'm not showing here, I don't know, I lost that video, is that I replaced the antenna lines with some elastic lines, so the one from Uschi van der Rosten, and instead of the PE. So this is the end result. I'm pretty happy about it. So after some varnish and so on, it actually looks quite good. I think it was a tedious project. It's not my favorite one, at least, but it is what it is, and it adds something to the ship, at least. So I hope that you liked this installment. Please click the like button if you like it. I do appreciate comments, and if you don't subscribe to the channel, please do. So until next time, stay safe.